Now it's time to rebuild the civil cell. And to do that, we're going to need those names that we recaptured. And so the name of the civil cell, in this case, connector-rule, and then the name of our three references. And then lastly, that we did indeed have a clipping boundary from the pavement surface terrain mesh. So under the Model Detailing tab, we want to select to create a civil cell. And we're going to pay very special attention to the tool settings. And so we're going to make sure we have connector-rule typed in and accept that. Then we need to locate our first reference. And so our first reference is going to be the connector CL profiled. So we're going to select that one. Once you select it, don't click again to accept. We want to type in connector CL profiled, tab out of that, and then you will go in and select the next entry. Okay, so it says locate the next reference element or reset to complete. And so our next reference element is here, right? And then we want to go ahead and type in that information. So EP connecting to one of two profiled, and then tab out of that, and then we will select, and you can, by the way, put this in a clipboard just to save typing, and then we'll pick our last one, and in here paste, and we'll just change this to the number 2, tab out of that, and now we can reset to complete. And it also asks you to locate any optional references. You may have optional references to select here. I don't in this case, so I can reset to complete again and then accept civil cell. Because those references can be tricky, let's go ahead now and select the civil cell. And then in our properties panel, expand your references and make sure the names are correct. And you'll see that I missed that last one. So we can come into this one on the name. We can rename it, and we'll change this to 2 of 2. Again, not for sure quite what happened there, but you can rename that. And then when you refresh, you'll see that that now picked up properly. Okay, then the last thing we need to do is we need to add in our corridor clipping boundary. And so to do that, we want to navigate down to the mesh that we're going to use. And so under dependent elements, we will go to pavement surface. And if you expand that, you'll see it looks like our screen capture. Just right click on that pavement surface and add as a corridor clipping boundary. If we open back up our properties panel and repick our civil cell, you'll see that that is now there. And then the last thing we just need to verify under general category, make sure that it says it is valid for placement. And so this is the key steps to updating your civil cells. Everyone's going to be just a little bit different, but the core concepts of what we've gone through should be the same. The trickiest part will be rebuilding it, knowing what your references are supposed to be. So you may want to practice the placement of your civil cells before you convert them. Make sure you really understand how they're built. And then the other tricky part will just be to find each of the different horizontal constraints that are put in here and make sure you don't miss any when you're correcting all of the dimensions.